Close your eyes and take a guess. Are you currently living in the lower, middle, or upper class? Don't base your answer on the brand of clothes you wear, the neighborhood you live in, or the size of your monthly paycheck. Those are the worst metrics you could possibly use. The brutal truth of personal finance is that your status isn't determined by what you spend. It is determined by one undeniable metric: your net worth. And when people finally sit down to calculate that exact number, the reality check hits them hard. Most folks are nowhere near the financial tier they imagined. Today, we are breaking down the absolute reality of the American financial tiers, starting from the bottom 25% and scaling all the way to the top 10%. We aren't just giving you the numbers. We are revealing the exact mathematical blueprint required to escape your current tier and level up to the next. To make this crystal clear, let's track the financial journey of a completely average guy. We'll call him Alex. Alex is 32. He pulls in a very respectable $92,000 a year. He rents a nice modern apartment, drives a late model sedan, and puts a tiny fraction of his check into a 401k. In his mind, Alex is living the classic middle-class dream. But let's look past the lifestyle and calculate his actual financial weight. Factoring in the math, Alex is actually stuck in the bottom 25% of the country. I know that sounds crazy for a guy making $92,000, but numbers don't lie. The golden rule of wealth is this: making a lot of money doesn't make you rich. Keeping it does. To find your net worth, you add up your assets, your cash, your investments, the value of your car, and your property. Then you subtract all your liabilities, credit card balances, student loans, auto loans, and mortgages. For Alex, his car, his small savings, and his 401k give him total assets of $42,000. However, he still owes $20,000 on that car plus $31,000 in student debt. That is $51,000 in total liabilities. $42,000 minus $51,000 means Alex has a net worth of negative $9,000. He owes more to the world than he actually owns. Anyone with a net worth below $23,000 falls into the bottom 25% tier, and a shocking number of these people are swimming in the negatives. The biggest myth is that this tier is only made up of low-wage workers. Absolutely false. You will find thousands of doctors, lawyers, and managers earning six figures who are completely broke on paper because their debt outpaces their income. So, how does our guy Alex climb into the lower middle class, which requires a minimum net worth of $23,000? There are only two ways out: drastically increase his assets or aggressively destroy his debt. But here is the secret about the lower middle class. Most of them aren't financial geniuses. Their wealth is almost entirely locked up in the equity of their home. While owning a home is great, home equity is not liquid. If a recession hits or they face a medical emergency, they can't pay the hospital with bricks and mortar. That brings us to the exact statistical center of America, the median household. 50% are richer, 50% are poorer. The number is $193,000. Sounds comfortable, right? But if you remove the value of their primary residence, the average cash cushion for half the country drops to just $30,000. That is an incredibly fragile safety net. The real turning point is the upper middle class, bridging the gap from $193,000 to $610,000. At this stage, people stop building wealth by accident and start doing it on purpose. Their portfolios become balanced. Instead of relying solely on real estate, 50% of their money is working in the stock market and retirement funds. This bracket is the ultimate catalyst. Once you build this foundation, compound interest steps on the gas pedal. Now we enter the top 25%. The upper class ranging from $610,000 to $1.72 million. Here, the paradigm completely flips. Their house is no longer their primary asset. Their financial investments take the crown. And contrary to pop culture, the people in this tier are the masters of stealth wealth. They aren't buying sports cars, they are buying cash-flowing assets. Finally, the summit, the top 10%. You need a net worth north of $1.72 million to claim a seat at this table. At this altitude, your money is officially working harder than you are. A conservative 4% yield on a $1.72 million portfolio hands you $69,000 a year. That is pure passive income. Your daily 9-to-5 job shifts from a strict survival necessity to a voluntary hobby. But hold on. Throwing all these numbers around has a massive flaw. We are forgetting the age trap. You cannot compare the net worth of a 26-year-old software engineer to a 65-year-old retired teacher. It skews the entire reality. When adjusted for age, the median net worth for Americans under 35 is just $39,000. Let's check back on Alex. He is 32 with negative $9,000. Against the whole nation, he's bottom 25%. But against his own peer group, he is sinking in the bottom 10%. So, what is Alex's next move? Let's predict 3 potential futures for him. Future 1. The coasting path. Alex keeps paying the bare minimum on his debt and spends his entire check. Fast forward 20 years to age 52, and he's only scraped together $135,000. He is vastly behind his generation. Future 2. The intentional path. Alex gets serious, trims his budget, destroys his debt in 4 years, and starts investing $800 every single month. By age 52, assuming average market returns, his net worth breaks $550,000. He secures his spot in the upper middle class. Same salary, completely different habits. Future 3. The aggressive path. Alex hustles to increase his income to $125,000, refuses to inflate his lifestyle, and pumps $1,800 a month into the market. At 52, his portfolio clears the $1.2 million mark. He has skyrocketed from a negative net worth to the top 25% of the country. No rich uncles, no lottery tickets, just the undeniable math of consistency and compounding over time. Calculate your actual numbers today. Take off the blindfold and see exactly where you stand. It's the only way to map out where you are going. To master the complex mechanics of global finance and build real wealth, make sure you hit subscribe to Simply Explained right now.